Okay, so it's that time of year again where I've got to apply for another visa for China. So I tend to just go to the visa centres. The closest one to me is Manchester, but they are all over the place. If you go to the Chinese visa website, which is visaforchina.org, it will tell you all about where their offices are and everything else, depending on what part of the country you are. If you're in England, I assume that other parts of the world will have a similar thing. So there's all the information's here, which is it's quite easy, straightforward to get through. Read the step-by-step guide. It will tell you everything you need to know, the cost, and the procedure of doing it. I would recommend reading it. I've slipped up a few times because they've changed the rules sometimes, and I didn't read it. I get mine once a year. I get a year's visa, multiple entry visa. For anyone who's applying for the first time, if you want a double entry or a multiple entry for a year, they won't give you one. You need to work your way up. So when you apply for the first time, they'll give you a single entry. Then you've got to apply again if you want to go again, and then they'll give you a double entry, and then you can get a multiple entry visa. So it can take up to 6 months, 6 months plus, to be honest, to get a multiple entry visa. If you're applying for a business visa, you need to get a letter from somebody who's inviting you, a business who you're going to be trading with or doing business with. You need to get a letter from them which is stamped. They all have their official stamps, whatever company you're dealing with. They will accept a photocopy, so if you get the company to email it to you, and you can just print it off, but you must get that. Your visa will be denied if you don't have that letter. They'll straight away just say to you, you can't have it, you need a letter. If you're applying for a holiday visa, this happened to a girl while I was there last time. She didn't book her hotel, and they turned her away straight away. They said you need to have a hotel booking before they will process the application. So you need to get a hotel booked. So that's quite easy. You can always go to booking.com or Agoda where you can book the hotel and just get confirmation. But I would say if you're going to do that, get one where you can cancel the hotel just in case you get turned down for your visa. I'm not quite sure if they want your flight information. I'd check on that if anyone's going to book, because you don't want to turn up there and then they'll say, well, we want your flight information, which is a bit stupid, because if you book your flight and your hotel and then they turn your visa down, so you'll have to just pay up that money, so it's a bit stupid. But it'll give you all the information here. Another thing I need to say is, for a holiday visa again, your first one will be a single entry. So if you're planning to pop over to Macau or to Hong Kong, and you fly into China and then go off to Hong Kong, and then want to go back into China for your return flight, they won't let you. Because you've left China to go to Hong Kong or Macau, you've basically left the country. Even though China is part of, or Hong Kong is part of China, it's deemed you've left the country. So if you're planning to go to Hong Kong while you're in China, I would go there first and then go into mainland China. But if you've got a multiple entry one or a double entry one, you'll be alright. I almost got caught out in Amsterdam with this. They wouldn't let me on the flight because they said, I went from China to Hong Kong and then came back to the UK, and I had a double entry visa, and the guy at the passport said, well, you can't go back to China because you've used your 2 entries because you went to Hong Kong. And I says, well, no, because I've got a British passport, I don't need a visa for Hong Kong. But he was adamant, he wouldn't let me get on the flight, basically. So we had to call a manager, and he says actually he's right. He doesn't need a visa for Hong Kong, so let him on. But it was a bit of a pain, but just things to be aware of if you're going across. It's quite a simple form to fill out. So you just click on there. If you're going to the office, you need to make an appointment. So you see here to make appointment. So you just click on it, and it will give you the dates. If my computer will speed up a bit. There you go. So depending on where you want, here the list of all the places you can get a visa. So you've got Paris, Singapore, Stockholm. If you're in the UK, you've got London, Manchester, Edinburgh. I thought Birmingham was here as well, but clearly not. So you just pick your place, you put all your details in, your passport number, and everything else, and then it'll give you a calendar where you can pick your date where you want to go in. I'd do that first because the dates can get booked quite quickly. To fill out a form, again, you just click on here. It's got all the information here. The good thing about this is you can save it while you're doing your visa. So if you've got any problems, you can save your information, and then it will let you come back to it, and you can upload it again. You do need a photograph for your visa, so you mustn't forget your photograph. So it's pretty straightforward. Just fill it in as you go along. If there's any questions you don't understand, there are sort of question marks where you can just click on, and it'll give you all the information you need. I've already filled out my form and printed it off, so I can't go through the whole information and show you what the form looks like, but it's fairly straightforward, and it will ask you where you're going to be going, what cities you're going to be travelling with or travelling to. If you're not going to stay in a hotel and you're going to stay with friends, you might want to check with the visa place first, because they'll need to know who you're staying with. So there you go. I've got an appointment to hand in my visa. It normally takes about 4 days, so 4 working days for the visa to come through. You can use companies to do the visa for you, but to be honest, it's not really that difficult. You can also post your application with your passport and stuff, but stuff gets lost in the post all the time, and you don't really want to lose your passport in the post. So I would either go to the offices themselves or get someone to hand it in for you. And there you go. So following is me going to the centre. They won't let you film inside, unfortunately. Just handed in my passport for a visa. What a palaver. Bloody hell. Got here. I've had so many visas in the past, and they've changed the rules slightly. And I said I need to have what's ground floor?
Doors closing.
Need to have a photocopy of my passport. So didn't have any change. Had to get it. Go and run to get some change. Then when I got to the counter, the guy said my photo is not good enough because it's more than 6 months old. So then I had to go to Sainsbury's across there to go and get some more change for to have a photograph taken. So a bit of a palaver. But we'll see. I have to come back in 4 days and then take it from there. On my way to Manchester now to pick up my visa. Hopefully everything's gone well. I'm always worried about picking up a visa in case they turn it down. As you probably saw at the beginning of this, I did have a bit of a pain getting it, so hopefully everything went smoothly. You see the early morning traffic, everyone's sticking to 60 miles an hour because of these speed cameras on the bridges there, so they're all sticking to 60. Horrible day today, as normal, British weather. It's the 29th of April and it's snowing, and if you can see on the camera, it's actually snowing. Unbelievable. Can you believe I've just driven through all that snow? Right, I'm here in Manchester now, ready to pick up my visa. This is the place we need to come to. Well, that's me done for another year. Got my visa. £216 it cost me to get this visa, but at least I'm done now. So I'm waiting for Bank of China to open, which is right next door. Exchange some money here. They've got a special offer on, so I'm going to do that and wait for them now.